fast food manager fired me for being too slow during rush hours. They shut down months later. I got fired via text message while sitting in my car after an 8-hour shift. 17 years of loyal service ended with a notification ping. Your services are no longer required due to inability to maintain pace during peak hours. My name is Margaret, 47 years old, former senior crew member at Burger Blast, Satu 19 in Louisville. I'd been there since 2006, longer than any other employee, including the 29-year-old manager who fired me. I stared at the text for 5 full minutes, sitting in the same parking spot where I'd parked nearly every day for almost 2 decades. The same spot where I'd arrived early during snowstorms when younger employees couldn't make it in. The same spot I'd park in when covering other people's shifts on holidays. The text arrived at 9:47 p.m. on a Tuesday in March. I didn't cry. I didn't get angry. I just turned off my phone, drove home, and slept better than I had in years. The truth is, I wasn't surprised. 3 months before the firing, things had changed. Small things. Tyler, the new regional manager, started implementing efficiency. Protocols, shortened break times, new electronic timers at every station, daily performance metrics posted in the break room with names highlighted in red or green, crew meetings that felt more like military briefings than discussions, new headsets that tracked our response times, new uniforms with no pockets so we wouldn't be tempted to check phones. I didn't complain, didn't start arguments at meetings, didn't slow down deliberately when Tyler was watching with his clipboard and stopwatch. That's not who I am. But I wasn't blind either, so I made some quiet moves of my own. Nothing dramatic, just precautions. I started documenting everything. Took photos of the illegally short break schedules. Recorded conversations about letting the older staff go to bring in more energetic workers. Kept copies of my consistently positive performance reviews from before Tyler arrived. Made note of every time I was scheduled for 6 consecutive days. Without overtime pay. Saved text messages asking me to clock out but keep working, just for 15 minutes to clean up. The night before my firing, Tyler had pulled me aside after the dinner rush. "Your register times are 22 seconds over target, Margaret," he said, showing me a chart on his tablet. "The company standard is 45 seconds per transaction. You're averaging 67. "I double-check orders and count change properly," I replied. "Customers appreciate accuracy." Tyler sighed like a disappointed parent. "This isn't 2010 anymore. We need efficiency, not conversation. The teenagers have no problem hitting the targets." "The teenagers make mistakes that I have to fix," I said. "Just pick up the pace tomorrow," he said, walking away. "This is your final warning." I met Tyler 5 months earlier when he visited our location during his onboarding tour. Fresh MBA, pressed shirt, shiny shoes that weren't designed for standing, on greasy floors for 10 hours. He shook my hand weakly and asked how long I'd been with the company. 17 years in October, I said. His eyebrows went up. "Wow, that's impressive dedication." The way he said impressive made it sound like concerning. He glanced at my name tag. "Margaret, right? Are you full-time?" "Yes, since 2008. I'm the senior crew member here." "Interesting," he said, already looking past me at the younger staff. "We're making some exciting changes to modernize operations. Hope you can keep up." He smiled, but his eyes were evaluating, calculating. I'd seen managers come and go. 7 general managers in my time at store number 2119, dozens of shift leaders, 3 different franchise owners. I'd trained probably 100 employees who moved on to better things. College kids who worked summers, single moms who needed flexible hours, high school dropouts who found their footing in our kitchen. I knew every regular customer by name, knew their orders, knew which ones needed extra napkins or liked their coffee with room for cream. When I started at Burger Blast in 2006, I was a single mom with a 9-year-old daughter and an underwater mortgage. My husband had left the year before, moved to California with his administrative assistant, sent child support checks that barely covered groceries. Burger Blast wasn't glamorous, but the hours worked with my daughter's school schedule. The manager understood when I needed time off for parent-teacher conferences, and the job was 5 minutes from our apartment. I worked my way up from drive-through to shift trainer. Got small raises every year. Nothing life-changing, but enough that I could slowly pay down debt, eventually afford braces for my daughter, even saved enough to help with her community college tuition. My daughter graduated with an associate's degree in nursing last year. I've never been prouder. Over the years, I was offered shift manager positions 3 times. I turned them down each time. The small bump in pay wasn't worth the headaches and the unpredictable schedule that would have disrupted my daughter's routines. I preferred knowing my hours, doing my job well, going home on time. The first week after Tyler took over regional operations, he implemented the new efficiency standards. Timers everywhere, scripts for customer interactions. No more, "How are you today?" Just, "Welcome to Burger Blast, order when ready." He called it streamlining the customer experience. Customers called it rude. Our regular morning crowd, retirees, who came for coffee and conversation, started dwindling. The construction crew that ordered 15 breakfast sandwiches every weekday found a local diner instead. The office workers who knew me by name stopped coming when their complicated orders were rushed and repeatedly wrong. I tried explaining to Tyler that our location served a neighborhood, not just anonymous customers passing through. The data doesn't support community investment, he told me, not looking up from his laptop. Corporate analysis shows that customer rapport doesn't impact bottom-line growth in our market segment. These people have been coming here for years, I said. They're not data points. He finally looked up. That kind of thinking is exactly what's holding this location back, Margaret. 2 weeks after Tyler's arrival, he fired Denise, our 58-year-old morning shift leader. Restructuring, he called it. A week later, Antonio from the Grill was let go. He was 62, had been with Burger Blast for 12 years. Then Joyce from Drive-Thru, 51 years old, single mom like me, worked every weekend for 9 years without complaint. The pattern was clear. Anyone over 40 was on borrowed time. Our replacements were all teenagers or college students. Nice kids, most of them, but inexperienced. They hit Tyler's speed metrics but messed up orders, forgot special requests, didn't notice when the bathrooms needed cleaning or the napkin dispensers were empty. Customer complaints increased. Google reviews plummeted. The drive-through line, once wrapped around the building during lunch rush, grew shorter each week. Tyler blamed market conditions and the economy, not his policies. The day after my firing, I filed for unemployment and made an appointment with Sarah Chen, an employment attorney my daughter's friend had used when she faced discrimination. At a retail job, Sarah listened carefully to my story, reviewed my documentation, nodded slowly. "They've been systematically eliminating older workers," she said. "Your records are excellent. This is textbook age discrimination." "I just want what's fair," I told her. I gave them 17 years. Sarah took my case on contingency. We filed an age discrimination lawsuit against Burger Blast Corporation and Tyler specifically. The company's lawyers initially dismissed the case as without merit and offered a settlement of 2 weeks' pay. "They're not taking this seriously," Sarah told me, "but they will." We declined. Sarah requested discovery. Internal emails, performance metrics, hiring and firing records. That's when things got interesting. Tyler had been careless. There were emails to corporate about refreshing the staff demographic profile. Performance reviews where he'd written that I was too set in old ways and resistant to modern methods. A spreadsheet color-coded by employee age with notes about transition timeline. 3 months after my firing, I was grocery shopping when my phone rang. It was Sarah. "They want to settle," she said. "They're scared about this going to court." The settlement wasn't life-changing money, but it was enough. 6 months' salary plus compensation for lost benefits, an agreement that the company would implement age discrimination training. And, this was important to me, a letter of recommendation, acknowledging my years of excellent service. A week after signing the settlement, I drove past Burger Blast Num 219. There was a sign on the door, "Closed for remodeling." A month later, the sign changed to "Location permanently closed. Visit us at Burger Blast Nugget 243. I ran into Amber, one of the teenage cashiers at the mall, a few weeks later. "What happened to the store?" I asked. "It was a mess after you left," she said, fidgeting with her shopping bags. "Customer complaints every day. The new people Tyler hired kept quitting. We couldn't keep up. Regional managers came in, took one look at the numbers, and shut it down. Tyler got fired too." She looked down, then back up at me. "Everyone missed you, Margaret. It wasn't the same." I nodded, thanked her for telling me, wished her well. I didn't feel vindicated or happy. Just sad that a place where I'd spent 17 years, where I'd made friends and served a community, was gone because someone couldn't see the value in experience, in human connection, in doing things right instead of just fast. 6 months after the settlement, I was working at Cornerstone Cafe, a local breakfast place 10 minutes from my apartment. Better hours, better pay, no timers or efficiency metrics. The owner, Elena, had eaten at Burger Blast for years, remembered. Me taking her order. When she heard what happened, she offered me a job on the spot. "I need someone who cares about customers, not just transaction times," she said. "At Cornerstone, I know the regulars' names, their usual orders. Which ones? Want extra hot sauce or their eggs just barely over easy?" I chat with the morning crowd of retirees who come for the bottomless coffee. I've trained 3 new servers, all of them grateful for patience and thoroughness. Elena doesn't mind that I might take 20 extra seconds to make sure an order is right or ask about someone's grandchildren. She understands that those 20 seconds build the loyalty that keeps people coming back. Last week, a man in a suit came in during the morning rush. He stood in the doorway looking lost until I approached. "Table for one?" I asked. He nodded, following me to a small table by the window. As I handed him a menu, he squinted at my name tag. "Margaret, did you used to work at Burger Blast on Maple?" I nodded. "I thought I recognized you. I used to stop there every morning before they closed. Nobody else ever got my order right. Black coffee, bacon egg biscuit, no cheese, side of grape jelly," I said without missing a beat. His face lit up. "You remember?" "Of course," I said, smiling. "What can I get you today?" As I walked to put in his order, the same breakfast he'd ordered for years, I glanced at the cafe. Every table was full. The register had a line 5 people deep. The kitchen was firing on all cylinders, food coming out hot and correct. No timers, no efficiency consultants, no performance metrics posted on walls. Just good food, great service, fair treatment, and a team that respected each other. Sometimes the slow way is actually the fastest route to success.